Hi, welcome to the Jeff and Jerry Show. My name's Jeff, I'm the Borough Manager, and my co-host,
Jerry Lucia, Mayor of Mount Pleasant.
Jerry, you and I notice a lot that goes on in town, and we talked about this earlier in the year. We saw these rocks that were appearing, that were painted.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I, we questioned
Neither of us knew
what was going on.
Yeah.
But we said how nice they were, and we thought it was a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as you can see on the table, we have some more of these rocks that we had talked about.
Mm-hmm.
A little different than what we saw out among town, but it's still the same concept.
They're very interesting.
They are. They are. Well, it just so happens that we do know whose idea this was and who is the creator of these beautiful designs.
Oh, I'm sure our listeners would like to know too.
And watchers. So it's not you and I, obviously. It's our three guests today. And we're going to let them introduce themselves, but we're going to start with you.
I'm Michelle Seacrest.
I'm Gabby Sirianni.
And I'm Linda Sirianni, Gabby's mom.
Okay, so the three of you are the people behind these rocks, or the idea behind the rocks?
Well,
I created it 4 months ago,
Okay.
July 21st. And
she's looking at her cliff notes.
Yeah,
That's,
that's okay.
that's all right.
we have people out of country, Philippines, 2 in India, and 2 in Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, yeah.
Okay, well, let's first talk about how you created the idea. Let's talk about that. We're going to talk a little louder, okay, so that we can pick up. Who said among you three, let's do these rocks in Mount Pleasant?
I did.
And did you see it somewhere else?
I saw it on Pittsburgh Rocks.
So there was a Facebook page called Pittsburgh Rocks, and they were doing the same. They were doing this concept, and so you said,
I wanted to spread kindness to this town because there's so much bullying and everywhere else, and I wanted to make kindness.
okay, so these are kindness rocks, is what they're kind of called,
Yes.
and they're supposed to spread kindness and make people happy. Well, I think they do that, So that's what your idea was. So who'd you tell first?
My mom.
And did she say, we're not doing that? Or did she say, that's a great idea?
It's a great idea.
Did she?
Not at first, no. No, because she said, check out this Facebook page, Pittsburgh Rocks. And I was like, a page about painted rocks? Like, huh? And I kind of just breezed over it. And the next day I saw more of them. And I was like, let me check this out. Like, what? Why?
Now,
is
did you
this
see
going
any
on?
around here? Or was it
No.
just in Pittsburgh that you saw these on the Facebook
Originally,
page?
when we talked about it, it was just on that Facebook page that I had seen it.
And then, like 2 days later, we saw one by the statue, and I picked it up.
By the Doughboy?
And it said Pittsburgh Rocks.
Oh, did it? So there was one out here then?
Yeah. We've had a couple out here, Pittsburgh Rocks, yeah. So they spread all over the place. And since we've started the group, it has really taken off and gone all over the place.
Now, whenever you decided to do it, okay, did you tell your daughter that, listen, if you're committed, we're going to do this, but you have to be committed to do it?
Yep.
All right? I mean, if you're going to do a project like this,
You gotta go all in.
you got to go all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you got to spread a lot of kindness.
We had to start painting rocks and posting pictures and getting the message out there. And
So when did you tell Michelle?
Michelle came in not too long after we were getting, it was about September. She had to go back to school, I had to go back to work, and we were getting bombarded with member requests all day long, and it was just so hard for us to keep an eye on the page. And
So you set up
and
your own
monitor.
Facebook page called,
Yeah.
and what is the Facebook page? title?
MPPA Rocks.
MPPA Rock. So we'll say that at the end of the show too. But so now you guys had to set up a whole Facebook page for this, which isn't that hard. But you got to paint rocks.
Yeah, we gotta paint rocks.
Yeah, so who come up with the ideas of the
Who's
rocks?
The painters.
We've all painted the rocks.
We stole our rocks out of our neighbor's yard.
I was gonna say, well, we don't wanna say that too
No,
loud, but,
you borrowed
yeah.
the rocks.
To spread
He's
kindness.
okay with it.
I'm
He catches
sure.
me out there with a flashlight sometimes at night.
Is it hard to get rocks? Is it a hard
Not
thing
for
to do?
us, because we have them all over our house. Like, I have them in my yard and my neighbor has them. And sometimes if we're out like somewhere, I'll drop a couple rocks and I'll take a couple rocks.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you're walking in a park and you're on like a trail or something and you're putting rocks out, we'll grab like a rock off the trail. Now, you have to take them home and clean them if you do that, but,
But you replace the rock. That's
Right.
nice.
Right.
That's kindness, I guess.
yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah.
You can also buy them. You can go like to the local landscaping place and they'll sell you like a 5-gallon bucket for like $3.
Or if anybody wants to donate rocks to your group,
Yeah.
you'd accept rock donations.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would.
Now, let's talk about rocks for a second. What's the best rock to paint? Or you can paint any kind of a rock.
Smooth rocks.
Smooth rocks are our favorite, but Michelle has done all kinds of rocks, and
Every
she turns
time.
them into beautiful works of art. I've seen a lot of people do that. So smooth ones are our favorite, but
This is very unique.
Yeah, I love that.
This is a rock and a half,
Well, but you found one that looks like a
but it really
Right.
fit the
Yeah.
scene.
you have to look at the rock and just
picture.
Nice.
What,
give an image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
now, so I see little rocks about this size. What is this about the small Penn State? How about that? It's Penn State.
You
So-
must have told them.
No, I didn't, but I like that one.
I
But who,
painted that for my husband. That's his Penn State rock.
well, he's a good man. So, so is this about the smallest size rock?
Oh, no.
No?
No.
We've had smaller.
Yeah, at Christmas time during the parade, I got a whole mess that weren't much bigger than your thumbnail, and I painted small little Christmas things on them and put them along the parade route for people to find.
Oh, is that
I
right?
give you patience for that.
I know.
It's good therapy.
It is.
Is it?
It really is good therapy.
It's relaxing.
Now, okay, so so now we know you can paint a rock the size of your thumbnail. But what's the biggest size rock have you ever painted?
I've seen rocks that are like the size of broken pieces of gravel, I think.
Yeah, some
Like
people do
concrete.
landscape rocks, like
Yeah.
the ones that stand up. I don't personally, because I have to haul those out and hide those.
Yeah, that's not too easy. It's probably hard to hide those, right?
No.
Is that the idea? Is to hide them and people go look for them, or do you want
It
them
is
to?
just no, it's just to make someone's day. So you put it in an unexpected place.
Okay.
It could be outside of a business. It could be.
So they can
in a
be
park.
seen. You just
Yes.
unexpected place.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not talking about like hide them under a bush where no one can find them. You want to put them in a place where, like on Main Street, we have lots of benches. So if you're walking down with a rock, sit it on a bench. If someone comes out of the store, they're walking down, and they find that makes their day. You know, it's not a game of hide and seek. It's like Linda said, to make somebody's day.
Well,
Now-
now I know where the one came at the fire station. You made my day.
Okay, so now you have, who comes up with all the ideas? Don't you run out of ideas of what to paint?
Never.
Never.
Sometimes she does, but no, never. And our group members have been fantastic. They have taken on and painted, and some of them could really be illustrators of children's books.
Oh, yeah.
How large
Just-
is the group now?
We have 1,245 members as of today, and there's 1,054 active members. We
That
have,
is really
I know.
remarkable.
we have 73 new members in the last month.
Well, you know, we painted. We did a show where we painted, it was called Sip and Paint at Alexander's, and we did the Sip and Paint, and we painted a snowman. Jerry,
I thought
was
maybe
gonna-
you painted this one, Jeff.
No, I tell you, that is really nice. We're gonna have to get that.
I
Yeah.
did that last night.
Yeah, but we're
You
gonna have
did
to,
it last
we're gonna have
night.
to put that on the, make sure they blow that up. No, but that's very nice. I mean, I'm really impressed with, some are
You
simple.
are an
Some,
artist.
yeah, some are more complicated like that. But it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
It doesn't. You could be you could just paint it a solid color and just write a nice word on it.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. You could be bad or good. You could be all ages.
Now, the one closest to you, Jerry, it says.
one here?
Yeah, there's a butterfly on it, right?
Uh-huh.
So now you can add things to
Oh,
the
yeah.
rocks. Not only
Yeah.
just have the rock. I believe it must be like a little.
Butterfly kisses.
It's a wooden button.
wooden butterfly.
My mom actually made that, glued that on, but my sister does really elaborate ones with things all on them. She does she did one for baking where she had like little wooden rolling pin and a apron that she glued on. And the only thing, you have to use the really good, strong Gorilla Glue for it to stay. But yeah, people do all kinds of things.
So the creativity is really up to the person. You can be as creative and do whatever you want, just so you have a painted rock to start with.
These are
Yes.
Christmas colored. You have a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We handed out.
Then on the back,
we have our tag.
Facebook, PA Rocks.
Now, is there always a message, or is there always? I'm sure this is always on every rock. What Jerry just read.
We ask our members to please do that so that when they're found, they are posted and people can see that someone found my rock and
Yeah.
their day. And
But there's not. But you want a message on every rock, or is sometimes the picture is the message?
no, whatever people feel like putting. Sometimes it's just a picture that creates a smile. This one, be unique. I mean, you can write whatever you're feeling.
So how long does it take to do? Let's talk about the simple rocks. How many simple rocks do you paint? We'll call that design a simple one, which is the.
I could paint that in 5 minutes. The snowflake.
How many do you usually do a day?
We have done 20 in one day, but they were a little larger, the size of your hand. You have to coat them with the paint and wait for the paint to dry, and then paint your design on and wait for that to dry, and then after you're all done, you got to seal it so that it doesn't wash away. So it is a process.
When we first started the group, we got a lot of members because we added a lot, and then their friends kept joining, and it took a long time to add them.
Now, on a rock like the Jeff and Jerry show, how long did it take you to do that?
About half hour.
Half an hour.
Yeah.
Now, you had mentioned, Abby, if I recall, you said it's to show an act of kindness, and did you say about bullying? Was that part of the reason why? So is it an anti-bullying campaign a little bit, or did you?
Pretty
It can be any campaign, I guess.
This happened in the summer when we started all this, July 21st, and she was very comprehensive and worried about starting middle school for the first time and being bullied, and so I thought this was I kind of pushed her into this to get her out of that comfort zone and just just to make her feel good.
That was good therapy.
Yeah.
And it helped. I mean, it makes others feel good. So when you make someone else feel good, you always feel good about yourself.
Yeah, Jerry, we're gonna have to start painting rocks because that would be good therapy, especially for you.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that the next show.
In your downtime.
But so, Michelle, where do you see this going?
I think that it's going to just keep growing. I mean, Linda, Gabby, and I are very passionate about it. I mean, it goes both ways. When we paint rocks and we put them out and somebody else posts them, the person that painted them, when they see them posted, they feel joy and they feel, like they made somebody's day. So it goes both ways. The person that finds them gets joy, and then when they post them, you get joy from seeing somebody happy. I think it'll just keep spreading, don't you, Linda?
I hope so. I mean, I have those thoughts in the back of my mind is this just a phase? It's going to just die off. But I mean, so far, we're still getting new members every day. People love the idea.
Well, the one thing about rocks, I mean, there's been pet rocks. There's been, the one thing about a rock is almost like a sheet of paper. You could pretty much do anything with a rock, whatever you want to do. So you could actually make them into pets. I mean, you could carry this project and this theme any way you want to go with it to keep it fresh is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I actually did do that. I painted a bunch of little ones as pet rocks and just posted them on Main Street. And we asked people to name them and then post them and, you know, give them a name. So that was another step. And then we did a scavenger hunt, you know, which was fun for 6 days.
So let's talk about the scavenger hunt. How did that work?
It was awesome. It got a lot of talking on the page and traffic, and it got more people to join.
It got a lot of people out of their house and
Yes.
moving, a lot of
Yes,
kids,
that's
a lot of
another
adults,
positive.
out there in the community walking around, and
And
I
look,
just love
and-
that.
Yeah, because they got to see town. You know, there was people that told me, I didn't know this business was there. You know, I didn't know that
Yeah.
we could go here or there. And so they were out exploring the town for 6 days. We would post a clue every morning, and people would be waiting for that to get out in town and walk. And we'd be driving through town and see people all through town just walking, looking for this
Usually
rock.
their heads were down,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
but that was exciting to see
You mean
that.
it would be a particular rock that you
Yeah,
would have?
Linda painted a
dead
beautiful
on?
rock that said winter on it, and my daughter Michaela and I, we went and hid it in town, and we would give a clue, like a cryptic clue, every day to where it was, and it was in the walkway down in town, the
How
social
long
walkway.
did it take for
6
someone?
days.
6 days
6
for
days.
someone to
So
find
for
it?
6 days, people were in town everywhere. And we, you know, we gave them an area, we told them it was in the borough, and that it was, you know, somewhere where they weren't gonna walk right up and see it, they had to wait for the clues. And it was a lot of fun, we really enjoyed it.
I'll bet that would be, yes.
Now, how far out do you place rocks? When I say out, we'll talk about the borough right now. How far out from the borough do you put rocks, or is it
I have-
pretty much all
I
in the
have
borough?
gone everywhere.
Well, give me some idea.
I mean,
was
I
that-
have gone everywhere. I have gone to every park in this town.
borough.
Have you gone to the township at all, Mapasan Township, and put rocks?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Have you
And
gone to
if we
Donegal?
If we go out to eat in Greensburg, there's a rock in my car.
Is that right?
Yeah, we carry rocks, we carry
Okay.
painted rocks with us, so
Okay,
that,
so they could go anywhere, like you
They
said.
can go anywhere, yes.
last week I put, I think it was 12 of them, we were downtown Pittsburgh, so we put them everywhere down there.
So earlier in the show, we mentioned other parts of the world.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that for a minute.
It
Where
has-
else? What other countries do you have rocks?
It has spread across the East Coast, so we have Alabama and Tennessee, New York, Ohio, West Virginia,
Tennessee.
and then we have 4 countries as well that we have.
Now,
Is it 4 or 3? 3.
now, is there a tie-in to Mount Pleasant in those countries? Is that how there's a tie-in?
And on every side of that rock, it should say MPPA rocks.
No, I mean, did the person, we'll pick a country that you have a rock in. I don't know.
Philippines.
Philippines. So the person who did it in the Philippines, are they related to anybody that you know? Is that how it expanded?
Yeah, the one that I had saw that was posted was visiting here and took it back with them. Another one I think it was brought to them and left at their house. So that's really nice that, you know, just even family members you can cheer up. Just leave it at their house.
I would say one thing, Jeff, this young lady for coming up with an idea like this is really remarkable, and you know, our hats off to you for
You-
putting it together.
Yeah, and your mother talked about your apprehension about going into the middle school. So can you tell us a little bit how you felt after you started doing the rocks? Did it,
I really wanted to go into middle school after I did the rocks.
and what caused that feeling?
Because I saw my friends doing it, and then I was like, that would be good. I get new friends. And
Well, that's a nice idea. I mean, that's a
That's
nice
what
way to look at it, yeah. So you almost had something that was in common with your friends in the middle school, so that you forgot about all the headaches middle school can be, and you decided to focus your attention to rocks.
I usually just stay behind because I don't want anyone, like,
She stays behind the scenes. She's shy. She doesn't, she'll like every post, but she's not out there commenting. She makes me do all that stuff.
So she added work to your schedule, is that right?
Yeah. She'll say, Mom, I'm like, oh, this is your page. But she likes to stay back behind. She's not out there for the attention. I kind of told her that you're doing this show today because this is your idea. You need to be acknowledged for that. It's not
Oh, and
mine.
you're doing a great job.
Yeah, yeah, everything's
The
good.
explanations you've given are very good.
So let's talk a little bit about you guys. I mean, well, sometimes the audience loves to know what everybody is. So, Michelle, what do you do?
I'm a stay-home mom right now.
Always from Mount Pleasant?
I grew up in Roughstell, which is right next door, but we've lived here on College Avenue for 12 years now. And I love Mount Pleasant. I will never move out of here. I mean, it feels like home, and you know, we try to keep busy. I've done a lot of ministries over the years, and you know, I helped at the library. We did a class, and you know,
On rocks?
on rock painting, yeah.
Okay.
And you know, they asked me to come do the class, and Linda and Gabby came and helped with that, and you know, I just like to keep busy.
And Linda, where are you originally from?
I'm from Dawson, PA, which I love. It's a very small town.
Big cities that you guys are from.
I love Dawson. It's a very small town. Everybody knows everybody. Can't get away with anything. But when I was 18, I moved to Mount Pleasant, and I lived here for a couple years. I had 2 boys, then moved to Scottdale for a little while, and then I have been back in Mount Pleasant for 12 years. Moved in when I was pregnant with her. So she's always been in Mount Pleasant.
I've played softball for 7 years over here, and
It's Frick Park.
yeah, I've just loved it because it gets me out of the house and moving. And I did not want to do it this year because I've done it for 7 years, and I asked my friends to do it, and they might do it, but I don't know because they barely talk.
Yeah.
She didn't get a choice. She's still joining. It's a
Now,
great group of
now,
kids.
has the rocks have made you feel better, and you feel better sharing rocks. But have you ever had a bad day and something happened, and can you tell me like what the rock made you feel like after you did the rocks, and if you gave it to somebody else? And
It made me feel happy and kinder because sometimes I take my anger on other people, and then I just come home and look at rocks and I
feel better right off the bat.
Mhm.
Well, if everybody did that, I think we'd have a better world. Don't you think, Abby? So when you're talking about the cost, I mean, we talked about you pick up rocks but is there a hidden cost to all this that costs you guys money to do this?
It's not too much, honestly. The paints are 50 cents, but you get a good use out of them. I'm still on. I mean, I've painted hundreds of rocks, and I'm still on my tube of paint. The Mod Podge is maybe $2.50, $3 to seal them. That goes a long way. So once you buy the initial things, all you need is the rocks, and you can just keep painting for months on those initial supplies.
Do you think will it expand to wood? Can we do, if people wanted to do other paintings, yours is the rocks, but I'm just thinking of somebody else who says, I don't want to do the same thing they're doing.
Listen,
You could do,
this started with rocks with me, and then I started painting canvas. I was like, oh, I didn't know I had this in me.
yeah.
I started painting canvas, and I go to Alexander's, and I do their wood painting projects there. So yeah, I
So it's helped
found
you
a
too.
whole new side of me I didn't know
Yeah.
existed.
Yeah.
Now, as far as I think you mentioned ministries, has it gone into the churches at all?
There has been a couple of churches that have had painting classes that they get together with, like their Sunday school class, or school groups have done it. There's Girl Scout troops that do it. So yeah, it spreads. It definitely spreads around, and
We have, I work with exceptional needs children in Greensburg and around
My
the
daughter
school.
does too,
Yes.
in Latrobe. You know my
Yes.
daughter?
From Norveld, actually, a couple years back.
Okay.
But yeah. But anyway, around the school, there are some painted rocks. They're not tagged. Just someone did them to give the kids, when they look down, they get a smile. And so, yeah. And honestly, I never noticed them until we started painting ours. And I was like, I know what those are. Now I know
Okay.
why they're there.
So let's talk about one more time. So I see a rock. I like it. It makes me happy. I say, well, that's kind of that person to do that. Okay, so I've done all that. You want me to pick up the rock, and what do you want me to do?
You can post a selfie of yourself with the rock. You could just post the rock.
And where do I
on
post it at?
Facebook.
On my Facebook page or on your Facebook?
On MPPA Rocks, which should be on the back of every one of our rocks.
So the idea is to do a picture and post it on on the Facebook page of yours.
And then you take that and rehide it anywhere you want for someone else to find it.
And you encourage or you don't encourage them to take it and keep it, to take it home.
If it makes them happy to keep it, we by all means post a picture and keep it. I've had a rock that I've had since July 21st that I painted that I love so much. It's in my bathroom. Every time I look at it, it's kind of like a memory of our bonding experience, what we've done, and I've kept it.
Yeah, isn't that that's another aspect to this? The mother-daughter now can share
Yeah.
and do things together.
And it's for the whole family. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen people spend time with their kids bonding and painting and
Yeah, we did it at the National Night Out. We had, the library asked me to help, and we set a booth up, and all the little tiny kids, they don't paint like this, they just paint colors.
Sure,
But it's a family memory that they're making,
sure.
and that's
And it's
important.
creative. We always talk about kids being creative and showing it. Well, we got a couple minutes left. Is there something else you want to talk about? Make sure we get across to our audience.
I do. I just want to make sure that if people are participating and they're doing this, that they're not hiding them on private property where someone, might think they're trespassing or get hurt. If you know that person and you don't think they'll mind, great. By all means, put it there. Also in grassy areas where lawnmowers could come by.
Yeah.
Someone could get hurt. We don't want this to be a negative experience by any means.
And the word hide isn't the correct word.
No.
You don't want to hide it. You want people to see it.
Like
Placement.
You want to place it, right?
Yeah.
You want to place
Yeah,
it.
that's
Because hiding it would be, you'd head with the lawnmower, because it's hidden. But
Yeah.
you want people to find them and see them and enjoy them.
In the
Yes.
summer, me and my friends went out and found a bunch of rocks, and then we just posted them and kept finding them like crazy.
I think
Good.
she actually got out of the house and did
Yes.
something.
Good.
That's very good. And that's also the great thing about
Yes,
this.
it is.
Well, number one, I really want to thank you, Abby, and Jerry and I, I'm sure
Oh,
agrees.
yes.
This is a great project
We're
you're
very
doing.
impressed.
Yeah,
Thank you
and
for
it was
having
something we
us.
wanted to do. We didn't know who to, actually, I would see the rock and I didn't flip it over. But we talked and I found out who did these, and so we wanted you on the show right away. So you should be very proud, and you as a mother of your daughter.
Yes,
And
I am.
Michelle, you should be proud of your
I'm
friends.
very proud of Gabby. I've known Gabby since she was a little girl, and she's an amazing girl. She really is.
The project's great. We're happy you're in Mount Pleasant. That always makes us a better place. So
We're bringing in awareness. We're
Yeah.
putting it out there.
So thanks. So Jerry, this is a good example, and we want to lead into a special, we talked a little bit before, this is the week before this will air at Christmas, so.
We surely want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And with these guests with us today,
This is a perfect show to do this.
perfect show.
For this week.
Happiness.
Happiness
We wanna
and
bring
kindness and joy, and maybe when you're sitting around the table at Christmas, you can say, hey, we should do that rocks that we saw on the Jeff and Jerry show.
Mhm.
And maybe now you could explode and have double the people on the
We'll have
Facebook,
to add another person.
you know? But,
Jeff Sandy.
yeah. I'll tell you what, I would love to do this someday. I might need your help,
Well,
Abby.
you need
know?
to join the page, and Mary, you
Yes.
need to join the page,
Okay.
definitely.
That's your first step.
Okay, well, we hope you enjoyed the show, and as Jerry said, we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and hope everything went well for you in Mount Pleasant. And if you don't want to do rocks, show an act of kindness. and stay and do things with your family. I think that's the message we want to give. So for Jeff and Jerry and all the ladies here, thanks for watching and listening to the Jeff and Jerry Show, and we'll see you next time.